Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're doing a completely new video for me, something I've never done before. We're going to be going over my personal picks for 5 underrated car meet locations in Grand Theft Auto Online. These are going to be spots that you don't see like all the time, spots that you may not even know about. I'm sure a lot of you guys are actually going to know, most of these spots, but for those of you who are maybe a little bit more new to Grand Theft Auto Online, these spots may help you out to choose a good location for your next car meet in Grand Theft Auto Online. Anyway guys, let's get right into it, starting off with number 5. Alright guys, so spot number 5, we have this one right here. I'm going to show you guys where this is on the map right now so you guys will know what I'm talking about. As you can see, we are right here on the map. We are just above the car wash, the store, and the ammunition. There's a little entrance to this building. You can come in off of the street right here, and it comes into this little spot here. Now, this location is not very good for big car meets. Obviously, as you guys can see, I've got my car in here, but you can imagine how quickly this place would actually fill up if you had a good-sized car meet coming here. Now, there is room on one of the sides here so that you could put cars along the side, which would definitely help to increase the capacity of this location. But I would say at the absolute most, you're going to be able to fit like 15 people in here. So this spot is best for, smaller car meets. If you don't have a huge car meet, this is a really good spot to come to, I would say. I've actually been to, I think, 1 car meet here in my entire life on Grand Theft Auto, so it's not a super popular spot. It's a pretty urban location, so I would say it's best for muscle cars and JDM cars. You can maybe bring sports cars here too if you wanted to. Obviously, if you want, you can bring supercars, but my, suggestion for the area is, muscle cars and JDM cars would fit the best here. As far as, if you're going to take pictures of them and stuff like that, I think JDM and muscle cars are definitely going to be the cars that you would want to bring here for a car meet. Anyway, guys, that's it for number 5. Let's move right into number 4. Alright guys, at spot number 4 we have this one. It's right across from the construction site. It's a pretty cool spot. I feel like I haven't seen many car meets here. I don't think I've ever personally been to a car meet here, but you do have quite a decent amount of space, I would say. You could probably fit a full 30 cars here if you really tried. It's also a pretty quiet location. It's pretty close to the highway and the main road, but it's also, far enough away to not actually deal with a lot of road noise and stuff like that. So if somebody wants to, rev up their car or whatever, they can do that. Now this spot's a little bit nicer than the last one. I would say, you could bring sport or supercars here as well as muscle cars or JDM cars as well. I think this spot is pretty much good for everything. If you do take pictures and everything like that, I think any type of car can fit in with this spot. And overall, I feel like this is just a pretty underutilized spot in Grand Theft Auto Online. I could be wrong. I'm sure you guys have probably been to a car meet here before, but I don't think I've ever been to one here personally, so I think it is a spot that should get used a little more often. Here the spot is on the map right here. As you guys can see, this is the construction building. It's just to the side of this. So there you have it, guys. That's pretty much it for number 4, I think. Let's move right into number 3. Alright guys, the next spot is a very underrated spot. I'm sure that I've never been to a car meet here. Maybe for good reason, but I do think that this is actually a really cool spot, and I definitely think you guys should check it out if you haven't already. So where we are on the map, I'm going to show you guys right now. As you can see, we are kind of close to the Vanilla Unicorn. This is the hospital right here where you can call in your buzzards, hydras, all that sort of stuff. As you can see, we're right beside the Los Santos River right here, and you just have to come in through this gate like you saw me come in. Now, this spot is definitely a very urban spot. I would definitely say it is best for muscle cars and JDM cars. As you can see right immediately when you come through the gate, there's this little covered area here where you can park, 2, maybe 3 cars. You could probably fit another car here if you wanted to, as well as you could fit a couple right here as well. There's some actual parking spots right here. You could probably fit in, I would say, 5 or 6 cars right there. Then over here you could fit a couple more cars, and you could probably fit another 1 or maybe 2 right here. Now this spot's pretty cool. It has a lot of little sort of nooks and crannies where you can actually put some cars. So you could come into the back here if you wanted to, and you could probably park, I'm going to say like 3, maybe 4 cars back here as well, which is kind of a cool spot. The car meet's going to be pretty broken up. It's going to be all over the place, but you'll all be inside this sort of enclosed area, which I think is pretty cool actually. And then last but not least, you can also go down this big alleyway right here. You could probably fit a couple cars on the sides if you really wanted to or if you needed to. And then it also expands into this larger area here where you could definitely fit, I want to say, at least probably 10-20 cars. This also could serve as a second entrance to get into the car meet as well. I think this is a really cool spot. I've never seen a car meet here, like I said before. I would love to see some start up here. I think it's a really, really good location. I think it's a super underrated location. Anyway, guys, that's it for number 3. Let's move right into number 2, which is one of my favorites. Alright guys, so the next spot is at the Quartz building in Grand Theft Auto Online. As you guys can see, Quartz is just over here. It's right above the cemetery right here and kind of close to the golf course. If you just take this road, you will go up the hill and you will eventually end up at the Quartz building into the actual parking lot, which is right here. Now, out of all the spots on this list, I would definitely say that this is probably the most popular out of all of them. However, I do feel like it is still a pretty underrated spot. I was watching some other videos before I made this video and nobody pretty much made mention of the Quartz building, and I do think that this is actually a really great location to actually do a car meet. Obviously, kind of an issue with this location is the AI seem to be pretty spastic when they're in here, as you guys can see right in front of me. They don't like to drive in here very well. And another problem with this location is Another problem with this location is also that there is obviously cars in a lot of the spots. You can move them, but it will get the cops on you after all. So you must be prepared to call Lester pretty much. Now, of course, you can park in the regular parking spots like these cars are right now. And obviously, this location does serve pretty well. You could probably fit a good 30 people in this location right where I am right now. If you start parking on both sides of the barrier here and at the back, all the way around, you can definitely fit at least 30 people here, I would say. So you could have a absolutely huge car meet here. However, there is another spot that you can go to in this place. There's actually a lot of them, to be honest. You guys could crowd around this little area as well. Forgive my drifting. This car's not responding very well to the rain. You can of course park underneath here as well. If you have cars that have some degree of ground clearance, you can also go up these stairs. Obviously my car will not do that, so I will get out and I will walk up there. But if you want to do like an SUV meet or something like that, you can definitely drive your cars up these stairs and start doing a meet in this area here. Now, there's not a ton of room, that's for sure, but you could probably get pretty creative with where you park the cars up here, and you could have a decent car meet up here as well, I think. Anyway, guys, the Quartz building has a lot of different options for car meets. I feel like you can bring any type of car here. High-end cars are probably a bit preferable, I would say, but you could bring any type of car here, and you will still have a good car meet, I would say. Anyway, guys, that's it for number 2. Let's move right into the spot at number 1. Alright guys, and the number 1 spot I have for you is at Auto Exotic Motorworks here. As you guys can see, it's a pretty rundown, rugged location. I would definitely say it is best for JDM and muscle cars. I will show you guys where this is on the map right now in case you are not familiar. It's right here, just down the street from Ammunition and almost at the casino up here. It's a really cool spot. I've actually been to a car meet here once before. Obviously this civilian is just tweaking out, so let's just deal with that. The car meet that I went to here was really, really fun. There's a decent amount of spots actually. Obviously you can fit probably 5 cars on the side right here. Another kind of cool thing about this location is you can actually put some cars underneath the hoists in here, as well as you can put some cars on this side as well. You can also put a bunch of cars all the way across the front if you want to as well. This is actually a pretty decently sized parking lot. Now, the only downside to this location is you can't fit that many vehicles here. I would say at most you could probably fit like 15 to 18 cars. So it is a bit of a smaller location. However, there is something you can do about that, and that is you can bring some cars over to this side as well. And over here you actually have a decent amount of space to actually park some more vehicles. So if you want to use this side of the place as well, I would say you can probably fit 30 vehicles here, no problem. I do think that this is just one of the best locations just because it just feels sort of cool to have a car meet at an auto repair shop. I think it makes, kind of sense. And like I said, the car meet that I went to that was pretty recent here was actually a huge success. Everyone really liked this spot. And overall, I just think it is probably the most underrated spot on this list. I don't think I've seen many car meets here. I'm sure I've seen a few over the years, but it is a pretty rare spot. So there you have it, guys. That's it for number 1. Let me know what you thought of my spots that I selected in the comments down below. I'm sure there's going to be some of you guys who are going to know all of these spots and tell me, oh, you're stupid, and you know, everyone knows these spots and all this sort of stuff. But for the newer players, like I said at the start of the video, I think this is a good video to just get them a general idea of where some cool, maybe a little bit underrated spots are in Grand Theft Auto Online. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, if not dislike. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.